Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing out there? It's Julia and joined by Heather. Heather is back.
Hi, everyone.
We'll start. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Kim. Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone who's joining here on Facebook or joining on YouTube, welcome. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're just going to hop right in. We're just going to get started. So last week, Heather was going to join me, but she was feeling under the weather. So Heather asked to delay this tutorial for 1 week. So let me just go to my overhead camera just for a moment. So do you remember these? Do you remember these? Heather posted these on our inspiration group. They were also shared to the Vicky Booten creative community, and there was a lot of interest in them and everyone just loved them. So I asked Heather, I'm like, oh, you should come on a Monday Night Live and do this. And then we started talking and she's like, well, maybe I'll do a take and make as well. So she's going to talk about both of these, plus she's going to reveal her next take and make. So there's two of these albums, two of these little mini albums. Both of them were made using this. This is the box cards from Fernwood designed by Vicky Boot. Okay, so she took this and there are 40 cards and 40 envelopes in here. That's crazy. 40 cards and 40 envelopes. So this one was bound using the We Are Memory Keepers binder tool. And Heather, remind me, how many cards did this one use to make?
I think just 5 in that one.
5. So this one is all bound together. And then this one is the accordion style, this one here. And this one used 4 cards plus extras that she had left over from her Fernwood collection. So Heather is going to first talk about this one, how she put this one together. And then she's going to do a little bit of a deeper tutorial on this one to kind of show you how this one came together. And then she'll reveal the next take and make where you can create an album like this. It won't be using the Fernwood, but it will be using other papers and it'll be equally as gorgeous. Plus she's giving you 3 different options of papers to use. So yeah, I think these are amazing. Okay, so I know Heather's not on camera, but I'm going to hold this up. So Heather, if you want to just talk a little bit about how you did this. Do you need your overhead cam for this? Should I go back to you?
Let's do split screen with my overhead too.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. I can't just do the 2 of us or our 2 overhead cams, unfortunately. Just wait, can I do that?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Okay, so this is mine. This is the bound one. Okay, so talk about this one a little bit. Oh, and I should say, before Heather starts, if you do have any questions, I'll be moderating the comments. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments and Heather will answer them live. Okay, go ahead, Heather.
So on that sample Julia's holding there, that one I put together with just some of the box cards. So this is how they come. This is a different collection. Okay. So for that one, when I put it together, I simply just opened the cards, stacked them evenly. So here's just 4, for example. Okay. And then this
Heather, can you hear me? I think you're frozen. We can't hear you. Hi, Peggy Ann. How are you? We're just having some technical difficulties. Just hang on. It's all good. Oh, she must have to restart her laptop. Okay, just hang on.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Oh, can hear you now.
Okay. Technical difficulties with my computer, but I have this, so we're good. We're good with this right now. Okay, so cards are stacked. Okay.
Okay.
And then all I did was using the We Are Memory Keepers bookbinding tool. This just simply pops off. It has like a little bevel in there, and you just slide your papers, your project, your cards, whatever in, and it gives you this really nice guide. And included in the bookbinding toolkit, this is just the instructions and whatnot. There's a really nice needle in there, so I just used the needle, poked my holes, went back through with the string, and just gave it a saddle stitch, and it connected the whole book together. It was super easy. And then from there, I just embellished it with more pattern papers and pockets and whatnot. So just super, super simple on using this bookbinding tool to, stitch anything. And there's multiple different stitches you can do and whatnot. So that was that one.
Yeah, the bookbinding tool from We Are Memory Keepers really makes it quite easy. So I'm just going to flip through this book just so you can see. You can see how she decorated it. She added flips. She added tuck spots. So yeah, this is just those 5 cards bound together. And then on the white parts of the card, the inside of the card is where she did all of the decorating. It's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. Okay, so that is the one using the bookbinding. That was actually the second one she did. So this was the first one, and let me just solo shot myself so I can show you this. So this is the accordions one. There's the front, and then from the top, this is what it looks like. This is how it opens. So this will be important later. So you can see this is one card. This is a second card. So where she bound them together, not bound them, glued them together, makes it makes a pocket. So it really is quite a beautiful book. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and we're going to solo Heather, and she's going to do a walkthrough on how this one came together. And then what we're going to do is, are we out of the bookbinding tool? I thought we still had some in stock.
I thought we still had some.
While Heather is talking, I'll get the link for it and I'll come back and post it because I'm pretty sure we still have some. Okay, so before Heather gets started, when I was mentioning a make and take or a take and make that she's going to have, there will still be the instructions in there, but we're also going to QR code this video. So if you do want to purchase the make and take, take and make, and do this, you can refer back to this video and watch Heather as she demos how to put it together. So it's not going to be a class, it is going to be a take and make. Okay, so let me solo. Can we see the middle binding when the binding tool was used? Can we see the middle binding?
So yeah, just open up the album. You should see the stitches right in the middle.
Yeah, the stitches are right down here, and she used a saddle stitch. If you don't know how to do a saddle stitch, there are lots of demo videos on YouTube. That's where I got my saddle stitch video from, was on YouTube. So
that's
you
what
can
I
see
did
the
too.
stitch. Yeah, and just go on YouTube, search saddle stitch. It's so easy to do. So, oops, there we are. There, I'm in the middle. So you can see the binding right down the middle there. Okay, perfect. So let me solo Heather. Perfect. So I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to watch the comments. So if you do have a question or comment, we will come on and we will let Heather answer that. So go ahead, Heather, and talk about the accordion album.
Okay, so Julia showed you what it looks like sanding up, so you get the idea on how it opens, right? So this is like the concept, the accordion concept. And full disclosure here, my idea, this inspiration came from Vicky Booten. She did maybe a year or two ago this kind of a little album using, I believe, was the color study cards. You can find that video on YouTube. So, you know, hands down to Vicky Booten, super creative, super brilliant. I'm a huge fan, and that's totally where my inspiration came from. So, thank you for all the love. But, you know, the love stems, I was inspired from somewhere, like most of us are with any of our projects. So, don't hesitate to go to YouTube and find that video for sure. Also, the Fernwood collection is so beautiful. That just helped make those albums come together, you know, effortlessly, because there was just so many wonderful pieces and ephemera and papers. So I just couldn't go wrong picking that. What I've created, though, after hearing all the feedback and interest in these mini albums, was 3 different take and make options using some of the Simple Stories collections. So I think by the end of the week, these are going to be up for purchase. So you get the Simple Stories Homegrown collection. Super cute. I just fell in love with these bright colors, and, you know, so many options on how to use this. Hearth and Home from Simple Stories. This is another option. And so in these kits, you're getting at least 8 sheets of 12 by 12 pattern paper, full color instructions, little extras, everything you need to put this together. And you just have to embellish it with your journaling and your photos and make it your own. Okay, so that's Hearth and Home. And then the other one was with this beautiful collection, which was the Simple Vintage Country Harvest collection. So same thing, you get all the paper, some cardstock, some string, and whatnot. Okay. So first things first, everybody wants to know how this comes together. So whether you're using pre-made cards, okay, like this one from the Storyteller collection, this makes an A2 card. Okay. So you're getting, hang on, I've just got to work with my volume. Now that my computer's back up and running. Okay, so an A2 card is 4.25 by 5.5.
Heather,
Yeah.
one of your microphones is on. Well, your laptop microphone is on.
Okay. Are we better, everybody?
That's better. Oh, Heather, can you hear me, Heather?
8.5 by 5 inches.
Sorry, Heather, can you hear me? I for some reason your laptop was muted. I just unmuted it. Can you start with the measurements again?
Okay, so this is an A2 size card. So it makes it 4.25 by 5.5. So if you're using a pre-scored card, like out of the collections, or like one of our white card bases that we sell in store, that's an A2 size, okay? So if you're creating your own from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you're going to cut it to 8.5 by 5.5. and you're going to score it in the middle, which makes it 4.25 by 5.5. Are we good?
We're good.
Okay. So I went ahead and just using another beautiful collection from my stash, because there is no shortage of that. I cut down some of the papers to the 8.5 by 5.5, so I can show you how we're going to assemble that. Okay. So once your cards are scored, have a look at your patterns first of all. Make sure your patterns are right side up on every piece. You don't want to be attaching one upside down and one the right way, okay? So like that, I know my pattern is both going in the same direction. And then you're going to determine what sides you don't mind covering up, or maybe I really like the butterfly, so I want to show it, okay? So I'm just going to lay it out in my accordion, okay? And that's the start of it.
So easy.
It's so easy. So you can see I've stacked them accordion style. I'm going to lay the first one down, open it up, and then I prefer to use my 1/8 double-sided tape. So it's quite thin, so that when I'm creating the pocket, if I'm only using the score tape on the edges, I still have a lot of room to work with when I'm leaving space to put things in it.
That's a great suggestion to use the 1/8
So
inch, because it really does maximize how much space you have left.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'll just quickly put some down here. And I also prefer to use the double-sided tape versus glue, because the glue can, seep out or cause a mess, and then it would, stick your papers together and not be good in the end. So I really, really recommend the double-sided tape here. Okay, pull off my edges or my tape here. Okay, and then with it in place, I'm just going to attach it. Okay, so you saw I just put the tape on the two sides and the bottom. So what I've done now is create a pocket.
So brilliant and quick and easy.
So quick and easy. So same thing. You can, layer up as many as you want, tie it with a ribbon, you can insert the ribbon, do whatever. But that is the simple way to attach them. Just use your thin tape on the edges, two sides, and the bottom.
We have a question from Linda. It's on the screen there. Why did you only go part way up the sides? You can take your tape right to the top, right?
I would take it right to the top. In all honesty, it was just, I just ripped it that short, but it won't make any difference in the end because I'm going to put so many layers and stuff in here anyways. But when I'm creating it, I do normally come straight to the top and straight across the bottom so nothing falls out.
Okay, great.
Okay. So on my part on how to get, the foundation, the base of it together. Okay, so I'm actually just going to walk through this one because there are some tips and tricks that if you're going to create your own or you're going to purchase this take and make that I want you to realize. My biggest thing too is like when I created those Fernwood albums, I created that primarily out of scraps. So when I work with a collection, I keep everything, the little bits of paper, the little, the skinny pieces. You would think, what am I going to do with that? The brand strips, Keep everything, because even something like this on the brand strips becomes an easy border to trim down and attach somewhere. Okay? This is why I'm called a paper hoarder.
And I love that companies,
Because
they never used to have anything usable on the brand strips. I'm so glad they do now, because a lot of them have like words or quotes or something like that. So they are very useful.
absolutely. So just save everything, because you never know how you can utilize it, you know, until the very bitter end. Okay, so let's do a walkthrough here and just ask questions as we go. And I'm going to point out some little tips and tricks and ideas for you. Okay, so this one's created using 6 pieces of 8.5 by 5.5 inch pattern paper. Okay, so
What
I always
collection
lay
is
out
that?
the paper to make sure. This one is homegrown.
Simple Stories,
I mean,
correct?
how stinking cute is this? Simple Stories, homegrown, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. If you notice when you're folding your pattern paper, some of the edges might crack a bit. You know how some papers can do that? This is where your washi tape comes in handy. If I found any of my edges were doing that or I didn't like the looks of it, I just added a bit of washi tape and some glue, because washi tape is famous for really not being that strong, and just put it on your edges, and it still moves and it covers up any cracked area, anything that bothers you. Okay, this is where you can put your vast collection of washi tape to good use.
Great suggestion on using your washi tape.
Use your washi tapes. Just find some that match and throw it in there. It's great in little border strips and whatnot too. Like this little guy. This is part of the washi tape that actually matches this collection. So it's very multi-purpose. I love it. Here's some washi tape on the top of a pocket, washi tape on the edge of a piece of cardstock on a little flap. Same again, just a little piece there for some interest. Okay.
So
Here is
Heather,
a mini pocket.
just a question. You mentioned using tape on your washi, so you put the tape on, or not, sorry, the glue on the back of the washi tape, and then stick it down. Is that
I
correct?
tend to, yeah, I like to use just a tiny bit of my art glitter glue, just a little bit, and then firmly press the washi tape. Then I know it's not going to go anywhere or peel up.
Right. Great suggestion again.
Okay. So when you're creating like little pockets on any of your pages, be it your scrapbook pages, your cards, or whatever, it's the same concept. Use your thin double-sided tape and just do it on the edges, right? You're always wanting to create enough space to pull a photo or your journaling tags or whatever out, okay? Excuse me, sorry. Here is a 3x4 element. So a lot of the collections have the full 12x12 page of the 3x4 cards, which come in handy if you're a pocket scrapbooker. But they also make wonderful elements on your traditional scrapbook pages. And in this instant, makes for an awesome little flap where you can add a photo on the back or whatever you want. I took this and created a flap by making a 1/4 inch score and attached it at the back onto this page. So you see how it folds open. Okay. Here's something else to note. You see this half circle punch right here? So this is where circle punches come in handy, because you can punch in your pockets so that it makes it easier to pull out some of your elements. Okay.
Another great suggestion, because don't we all have at least one circle punch in our stash from years gone by?
Yeah,
and if you
probably half a
don't,
dozen.
yeah, and if you don't, there is a thumb notch punch from We Are Memory Keepers that we have
Yes,
that does that exact same thing right there.
absolutely. And then here's another idea for your circle punch. Create yourself a little tab. Makes it easier to pull out your photos or whatever.
So in this
This is a slant.
particular take and make, what are they going to be getting in their kit, Heather?
So this kit contains 8 or 9 full 12 by 12 pieces of paper from this collection, a piece of coordinating cardstock, some string, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the string. You're going to get everything in your kit to make this, other than like the little extra bits of string that you're going to put on your tags. Everything else is included in your kit, other than the washi tape too.
Right. Okay.
You're going to get some
Continue.
chipboard pieces.
Cool. Okay. Sorry, continue on. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's good. Okay, I want to talk about the slant pocket here. So anytime you're measuring, all your pages should be 4 1/4, and they might be a little bit off depending on how you adhered them, right? So measure everything before you adhere it. I'm big on that because I have made many errors by making the assumption. So just always confirm your measurement before you trim or before you apply your adhesive. So with this side pocket, so it's 4 1/4 by, say, roughly 3 1/2. So when you're taking your piece of paper, just do a quick visual with a pencil. Take your pencil. So say I want my pocket roughly there and there because I want a bit of an edge on it. So then when I put it in my trimmer, I'm just going to line it up there. And that's it. So I've got my pencil marks, cut it, and now I've created a pocket. Okay? Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Okay? And then generally before I would attach it down into my book, cut a piece of thin cardstock or, trim something like this down, put it on there, trim up the edges, and then attach it into my album. Okay? While we're looking at these tags, I have to show you another tool two tools that I use so often in my projects. First is this We Are Memory Keepers multi-hole punch. There are 5 sizes on here from 5/16 to 1/16. So this would make a hole for your brads. This is a small circle punch, really. And then all the way down to this guy, which I use the most often currently, which makes the perfect size hole in my tags. Love this thing. Such a great investment.
And I'm just putting the link to that crocodile multi-hole punch. And for those of you who are were wondering, I also did post the link to the binding tool as well that Heather was talking about earlier.
Okay, perfect. Next thing I use all the time in my projects, my scrapbooks, my albums, anything, is my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. So something easy like this, I just cut a small piece of ribbon and put a little staple in there. You could add a little one, make a little X, do whatever you want. I love the stapler. I'm constantly using this stapler. Even for little effects, you want to just add something, use your stapler.
Yeah, I love my tiny attacher.
especially if you're working with vellum too, the stapler, the tiny attacher is a great way to attach vellum. Then you don't see any adhesive, liquid adhesive or anything behind your vellum.
And I just posted the link for the tiny attacher as well.
Perfect. Okay, here's another cute little flap. Okay, so this is just a piece of cardstock, 6 inches by 4 inches. You're going to score it. This is all in your instructions. There's just some washi tape, some more scraps from the collection. But to get this to open all the way up, I created just a little paper binding, really. It's 4 inches by 1/2 inch and then scored in the middle. So that was attached to the binder, the album page on the edge like that. So the glue or your double-sided tape would go here. Attach that here like that. And then glue the back side of your cardstock into it, or sorry, the top side of your cardstock into it. So this acts as your binding. This part opens so that you're big.
That's a great idea. That's an easy binding to do for a nice flap.
Just super easy. Okay. What else? Little pockets. This is a double pocket. So before you attach any pockets, if you want to attach a border strip to it or some washi, do that first and then put your pockets into your album. Okay. Just fabulous. This would be so great for journaling. You could put in tons of photos, add little bits, you know, ticket stubs, whatever. Little mats. And this is where you can totally customize your own album, whether you've got like a big photo you want to use, maybe you've got a couple, maybe you have some 2x2s. Just make it your own. So you get another pull out with a little ribbon, staple, string. Live like someone left the gate open. How cute.
I love that.
Me too.
Julie
That'll
says
be my new model.
Julie says she's very excited to make this.
Oh, good. So cute.
Now,
here's another good use for your circle punch.
There you go. Cynthia was saying she needs a stapler. Can you get colored staples? I don't know if the color staples are still available, but I have the tiny attacher. I've had it for years, and I have gotten replacement staples for it from the dollar store, because they're the tiny staples, sorry, not your standard size. And I have gotten, they're not there all the time, but I have gotten like gold and pink and colors like that. But I have also, in a pinch, when I've needed certain colors of staples, I have taken my tiny attacher staples and have colored a sleeve of them. They come in, I don't know, like 2 or 3 inches, and I've used alcohol ink to color them whatever color I want. So if you have alcohol ink and you need like,
absolutely.
Yeah, so if you have, and we have the tiny attacher staples replacements. So yeah, if you've got alcohol ink, you can color them whatever color you want.
For sure. Okay, you ready for this little one?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so here we have a stacked set of 3 flaps. So I want to point out when you're doing the score, so the score is at 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch on all 3 pieces. And then you're going to stack them on top of each other, adhered with your double-sided tape. And the score opens up, right? Or flips up this way. So you're attaching them flat so that you can now open them.
That's brilliant.
Okay. So you see that? Also a tip I learned from Vicky Boo. Pieces like this. So I've got like a little sun cut out. This is fussy cut. I know not everybody loves to do that, but it really does add a lot because you can really utilize your pattern paper if you're willing to do a little bit of fussy cutting. Also back, and like here, this little pig, he's fussy cut out of like a little scrap piece I had from the collection. So make sure you're looking at all the bits, right? Like even if it's not just background paper, cut out little elements that work for you. Use them as your, built-in ephemera. You don't always need an ephemera pack. You have to utilize your pattern paper too. Okay, and your little strips, little pieces that you think you might just throw away. Just wait. When you're done assembling your book, go back and be like, oh, I could add something there, or maybe a couple circle punches here, or little paper banners. So use all the pieces. If you're going to put a border strip on something like this is a side pocket. So it's just measured out at about 2.5 inches by 5.5, attached on the sides. I attached a little skinny piece of border paper, pattern paper, used the circle punch, and then attached it into the book. Okay. Side flap. So this one's just scored and attached underneath my photo mat, and then my photo mat was placed in the book. Here's my example of not loving how the paper scored, so the little washi tape trick. Okay, so this I want to talk about here. I thought this was a really cool idea. I used some of my lawn fawn twine and double wrapped it around one of the pages, one of the folds in the book, so you can see the twine there and through here, and I knotted it up here so that I could kind of slide in some extra spots for journaling or photos, leaving my pages open, but then still allowing me to incorporate more elements or more spots to to play with.
That's a great addition to a little book like that, and so easy. It doesn't add a lot of bulk.
No, so easy. You could add it in another spot as well because it's paper. I mean, and it's scored, it's folding, it folds flat. It's perfect. And this was from the 3x4 element sheet. I didn't go ahead and cut them all apart to begin with. This was some of them that I just left attached so that I could then score it and use it like a flap. And then another double pocket, cute little piggy border strip, some more washi tape, hole punch, my tags, added some string, twine, and then back to the beginning.
So that is going to be make and take number 1. That's going to be 1. And then you've got 2 other versions.
And 2 other versions are laid out the exact same way. I made it nice and easy. So every page is the same concept. You get a pocket, a flap, side pocket. But it will look so different because the collections are so different.
Yes. Yeah. So everything is exactly the same. Everything that they get in the kit, same amount of paper, all of that, but just the theme of them and the look of them are just going to be slightly different because of the paper that's used.
Exactly. Yeah. So fun, so versatile. I love putting these together and can see so, many opportunities on how I want to fill them, whether it be a little celebration book, taking my kids to Butterfield Acres or something. I got a zillion pictures for that, so I could fill that up. Like, cute and doable.
Eileen Hull is here and she says, this is adorable, Heather.
Oh, thank you.
Heather's been getting a lot of love on these books. Heather, yeah, these books are really amazing. Anything Heather does is amazing.
Oh, you're too kind.
Now, this collection, I'm trying to remember, is that homemade? Is that the homemade? I'm trying to remember. These
This
are
one
all
is Hearth
simple
and Home.
stories. Hearth and Home,
All
yes.
simple stories, yes. So we have all of these collections in store. But like I said, each take and make comes with everything you need to complete these.
And they will
I've
have
even included some die cut pieces.
and all the instructions are going to be in there. Plus, we'll give you the QR code to this video. So if you needed to refer back to it, we're going to give you easy access where you can just scan the QR code, come immediately to this video, and be able to see Heather walk through it and give you some of the tips and tricks that she has. So, yeah. And I saw a little while ago, Nancy commented that she's hoping on having these up on the website by Wednesday.
Sorry, excuse me.
So
by
I'm
Wednesday,
just going to show this.
Great.
If you were wondering, the original ones were made using these, but all the other bits and pieces that you see in here, Heather said that she had left over because she did other projects and classes with Vicki Booten. So all the little bits and pieces that you see here were leftovers in her stash. Now, I just saw this, Heather. Is that a border punch you did there?
Show me. Yeah.
This here?
Yeah, that's just a border punch.
A border punch, okay.
Yep.
And, oh, well, see, I'm flipping through here and I'm seeing things.
Memory keepers.
I'm seeing more things in here that I didn't see the first 12 times I flipped through here. Okay, so before we go, Eileen says, great job, Heather. Yes, great job, Heather. Yeah, Simple Stories is one of our favorite companies too. They always knock it out of the ballpark. So if you do have any more questions, feel free to keep posting. Between Heather and I, will monitor your questions and comments and reply back to them. Yes, Gina, this was made, the cards were the base, but the rest was scraps. Yes, this is just because Heather is a paper hoarder and she throws nothing away. Yeah, so everything else you see in here was just leftovers from other projects that she did using Fernwood. So I know. Heather makes scraps look beautiful.
Hey, keep your scraps. Don't toss them out. You can utilize everything.
Okay, perfect. Like I said, if you are watching this and we're not live and you have questions, keep commenting. You can comment on the YouTube channel. You can comment here on the Facebook, and then either Heather or myself will try and answer those as quickly as possible. But yeah, if you're interested in purchasing any of these make and takes that Heather has created, take and makes, watch for those to be posted on our website by Wednesday. Oh, Lynn has a very good question, Heather. How do you store your scraps?
I keep all my collections. All my collection in the extra large bags.
Extra large Ziploc bags.
Okay. I take all my papers, all my bits, and everything fits right into the bag, and I store everything by theme in a bag.
Brilliant. And Milena, missed the first part on how to put the album together. Can I rewatch this? Yes, absolutely. You will be able, I can see you're watching this on Facebook. You can rewatch it right here on our main Facebook page, but it will be, once it gets kind of buried in the feed, it'll be a little bit more difficult to find, but you will be able to find this on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and follow us on YouTube, and we have a Monday Night Live playlist where all of these videos are. So you will be able to see this one where it says it's Heather and I. Watch for the one that says April 18th, accordion album how-tos, and then you'll be able to rewatch it as many times as you want on our YouTube channel. Where do you get the XL Ziploc bags? I know the ones I get are the President's Choice ones. Is that the ones you get as well, Heather?
I generally go to the Real Canadian Wholesale Club, and I get a big box of about 50 or 100 of them.
Oh, that's probably a way better price point than what I pay for the President's Choice one, because I think they only come 10 in a box. So that is the Real Canadian Wholesale Club in Calgary.
Go to the Wholesale Club.
Yeah, Wholesale Club. If you don't have a Wholesale Club near you, the Real Canadian Superstore, they do have the President's Choice extra large Ziploc baggies. So yeah, you're getting lots of comments, lots of really great comments here, Heather. So I want to thank you, everyone who's joined us, and thank Heather. I'm glad she's feeling better. So again, if you do want to rewatch this, you will be able to find it here on the Facebook page, but it will be easier to find on the YouTube channel. So you can go to YouTube, search the Paper and Ink Boutique, and then if you click on the playlist Monday Night Live, all of our Monday Night Live videos are posted there, and you'll be able to watch that anytime that you would like. So again, like I said, keep commenting and we will answer them as quickly as possible. So thank you, Heather. Thanks everyone for joining us. And I'll be back next Monday night for another Monday Night Live. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.